Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen is also this afternoon scheduled to appear before the National Assembly to respond also to various concerns. One of the questions that he will be responding to regards the state of security in the country, including steps being taken by the ministry to avert death and destruction of property during demonstrations. Also, the CS will be required to outline actions being taken to forestall the destruction of property and death during demonstrations, and also indicate the government, or rather when, all right, the quorum has been achieved. Allow me to hand you over to the live proceedings.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, August 6th, 2025, in this afternoon sitting. Just the report of the Auditor General and financial statements on Eldama Ravine Technical and Vocational College for the year ended 30th June 2023, and the certificates therein. I beg to lay, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security. Tongoyo. Osoro, where is your chair?
Honorable Speaker, I haven't spoken.
Here he appears from the wrong direction. Go ahead, Tongoyo.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, the 6th August 2025. Report of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on its consideration of 1. The assumption of office of the President and the transition of Executive Authority Bill, National Assembly Bill number 1 of 2025. And 2, training and experimental learning visit together with the Independent Policing Oversight Authority to the Independent Policing Investigation Directorate in South Africa from the 25th May to the 1st June 2025. I beg to lay, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Budget and Appropriations Committee. Atandi, where is Atandi? Chairperson, NGCDF.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Wednesday, the 6th of August 2025. Reports of the Committee of the National Government Constituency Development Fund on 1. The nominees for the National Government Constituency Development Fund committees for 5 constituencies. 2. The proposed budget ceiling for constituencies for the financial year 2025-2026. Mr. Speaker, I beg to lay.
Thank you. Chair Budget. Where is Chair Budget? Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Wednesday, 6 August 2025. Report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Before we go to the next order, Clerk, allow me to acknowledge honorable members in the Speaker's Gallery. Good Testimony School from Embakasi East, Nairobi. St. Claret School from Kisauni, Mombasa. AHP Workshop Primary School from Belgut, Kericho. In the public gallery, Kapchorwa Comprehensive School from Kipkelion West, Kericho. Mother Kelvin School from Nakuru West, Nakuru. St. John's Kaptomut School from Marakwet West, Elgeyo Marakwet. Kambinyasi Primary School from Baringo North, Baringo. And Turbay Primary School from Baringo North, Baringo. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome all the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Thank you.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Musa Sirma, Chair in GCDF.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House adopts the report of the Committee of the National Government Constituency Development Fund laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th of August, 2025, pursuant to provision of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and paragraph 5(2) and 10 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Regulations, 2016, approves that the list of nominees for appointment to the following 5 constituencies committees of the National Government Constituency Development Fund is 1. Isiolo South Constituency, 2. Lungalunga Constituency, 3. Kuria West Constituency, 4. Homa Bay Constituency, and 5. Kitui South Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I beg to give notice, yes. And then the second one? I have 2. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the report of the Constituency Development, National Government Constituency Development Fund on its consideration of the proposed budget ceilings for the National Government Constituency Development Fund for financial year 2025-2026, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th August 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Section 6(1) and 34 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, Cap 414, approves the proposed budget ceilings for the National Government Constituency Development Fund for the financial year 2025-2026 contained in the schedule to the report. Mr. Speaker, I beg to give that notice.
Thank you, Musa. Next, Osoro. Yes? What is your point of order, Janet?
Mr. Speaker.
Osoro, take your seat.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for your indulgence. Mr. Speaker, it is worthy to take note, in line with what the chairman of the CDF committee has said, that all the money that was due for the CDF was disbursed by 30th of June 2025. You need to share with members here, because we are our enemies. We are the people who create fuss. When we speak here, we don't know we are speaking to the public. We say, oh, money has delayed, this has happened. That's what makes people hate CDF. But tell members that all the monies have been paid. There is no arrears.
Musa Sirma.
Honorable Speaker, I wish to confirm to the minority leader, who is the member
And to the House.
And the House.
And the country.
And the country, that all the money which was due for disbursement in the last financial year by 30th of June have all been released to the board and disbursed. Some have been disbursed of projects which have been approved by the board to the various constituencies, and money is in your accounts. So you need to conform to certain regulations in terms of e-procurement so that you can be able to use that money. So that is the only part, and I'm sure those of you.
You've said so many words. So what you are saying is the national government has discharged its honors in disbursing all CDF funds.
In short.
And the rest is administrative.
Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Yeah, so any member who has any issue with your CDF, you flog Musa Sirma and you flog the board. Go on, Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that notwithstanding the resolution of the House of 13th February 2025 and the 27th May 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 28 for the calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar so as to, 1, hold sittings on Tuesday, 19th August 2025, commencing at 10 a.m. in the case of a morning sitting and 2:30 p.m. in the case of the afternoon sitting. 2, commence its long recess on Wednesday, 20th August 2025. And finally, Honorable Speaker, resume its regular sittings for the third part of the fourth session on Tuesday, 16th September 2025, as per the published calendar of the House. I beg to give notice. Thank you.
Thank you, and be on hand to move this motion tomorrow afternoon. Next.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Chairperson, Committee on Delegated Legislation. Where is Chepkonga? Gishimo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I wish to give a statement on status of statutory instruments before the Committee on Delegated Registration pursuant to Standing Order 44.2D and Standing Order 210.5A. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 44.2D and Standing Order 210.5A to report to the House the list of the statutory instruments approved under paragraph 4A. The Committee on Delegated Legislation is constituted under Standing Order 210 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, and it is mandated to consider and scrutinize statutory instruments submitted to Parliament to ensure conformity with the Constitution, the Statutory Instruments Act Cap 2A, the Act of which it is made, and other relevant written laws. I therefore wish to inform the House on the regulations that the committee has considered and approved pursuant to Standing Order 210.4A of the National Assembly Standing Orders as required by the standing orders. During the third session, which commenced on the Tuesday, 13 February 2024 to 11th December 2024, the committee received 107 regulations and approved 71 regulations pursuant to Standing Order 210.4A. In the fourth session, which commenced Tuesday, February 2025, the committee has so far received 55 regulations and has approved 29 regulations pursuant to Standing Order 210-4A. I beg to table a detailed list of all the regulations that the committee has considered in the third session and in the fourth session as at 31st July for the House to note. I wish to appreciate the Honorable Speaker and the Office of the Clerk of the National Assembly for the facilitation that the Committee on Delegated Legislation has been accorded, which has enabled it to consider the statutory instruments referred to it within the timelines as provided in the Statutory Instruments Act, Cap 2A. I also like to appreciate the committee members and the secretaries for their diligence and timely consideration of the business before the committee. I submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Gishimu. Honorable Chair of Committee on Energy, is Gikaria here? You are supposed to respond to a statement requested by Honorable Naisula Lesuda.
Yes, yes, Mr. Speaker. I have the response.
She's not in the House.
Yeah.
She's sought leave from the Speaker to be away this afternoon or for some part of this afternoon. So we'll stay the statement to tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon. Yes, Honorable Rai.
I was supposed to receive a preliminary report regarding a statement I did ask about Charo Mai, who was abducted on the 16th of July, 2024.
Tongoyo. Where is Tongoyo? He's been here. Raso, does your committee have that preliminary response?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We do not have a response, but in any case, the minister will be appearing before us this afternoon. Maybe the honorable colleague will be in his place to put the same to the CS.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Wait for the minister. He's coming this afternoon. Honorable member, yes, Omongina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I have stood for a point of order, which you referred yesterday.
You've stood on a point of order, not for a point of order.
I have stood on a point of order, which you referred,
Yes.
which belonged to Honorable Doris Donya Toto, who has gone to the embassy, and she has requested me to ask you whether you can accept so that I can proceed and get the statement answered, if it is there today.
You cannot. The rules require that she writes to the Speaker to designate you to speak for her.
Thank you, well
In the
guided.
absence of any letter,
No, she didn't.
yes, we'll stay to tomorrow. We have, honorable members, we had a request. Order, members. Those holding a Kamukunji, the Mombasa group.
It can only be Mombasa, Kamukunji.
Thank you. Honorable members, Omboko Milemba raised a point of order yesterday on school children who are in Meru on some national event and the payment of their accommodation and other related issues are directed at the Minister for Education. The CS Migos Ogamba appears before the House this afternoon. He has written a letter to the Speaker indicating that at the time I gave direction, he was already in Mombasa attending a function today with the Deputy President at some university, and requesting that he has prepared a statement and forwarded to the chair of the Committee on Education, who will relay to the House, and have acceded to that request. So, Chair Education, you can proceed now and deliver the statement.
That one is not my... I'm not Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I do not have a statement from the CS, as you've read it. Yes, I do not have any statement that he has relayed to me. Yes.
The Minister's letter reads, Honorable Melly, in part, in view of the foregoing, after explaining where he is, we seek the forbearance of the Right Honorable Speaker to excuse the undersigned, that is him, from attendance, and to permit the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Education to present our preliminary responses to the questions asked. I give you 5 minutes to step out and organize yourself.
Yes. Let me check.
Yes. Mayaka?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I stand to give a general statement regarding the performance of the Harambee Stars in the African Nations Championship. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 25-9D-2B, I rise to extend warm congratulations to the Kenya national football team, the Harambee Stars, for their exemplary performance and hard-fought 1-0 victory against the Democratic Republic of Congo, the DRC, in the opening match of the African Nations Championship, CHAN 2024, played at the Moi International Sports Center, Kasarani. Honorable Speaker, we express profound appreciation to His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, for his unwavering support to the team, including ensuring the timely completion of the stadium, facilitating logistics, and attending the match in person. This commitment has greatly contributed to the team's morale and success. Honorable Speaker, our mighty Harambee Stars deserve our collective hearty congratulations as a house for their well-earned victory over the DRC. This achievement represents a significant source of national pride and exemplifies the power of unity, resilience, and the determination of our people. The historic win secured by midfielder Austin Odhiambo's decisive goal just before halftime marks a significant milestone for Kenyan football, as it is the first time Kenya has a CHAN victory over the DRC, a two-time champion. The team demonstrated exceptional skill, discipline, and resilience, overcoming early pressure and holding firm against a strong opponent in front of a passionate home crowd. Special recognition is due to Austin Odhiambo, also known as Rolls-Royce. Honorable Speaker, we also commend the leadership of the coach, Ben McCarthy, and the dedication of the entire technical support staff for their crucial role in preparing the Harambee Stars for this important triumph. The commitment of every player and the staff member has inspired millions of Kenyans, uniting the nation in pride and hope for the progress of our football. I salute the fans who rallied the team to its resounding victory and encourage them to keep up the spirit. As the Harambee Stars gear up for a subsequent match in the competition, we reaffirm our full support for their campaign. Their performance reflects the potential that can be achieved through hard work and dedication. We trust this victory will inspire further excellence. Honorable Speaker, I urge all honorable members and the entire nation to stand in full support and rally behind the Harambee Stars as they strive for their success, including attending the matches. And we say hongera to the Harambee Stars. May they continue to make us proud. And we do confirm that all the players and the technical team each got 1 million shillings from His Excellency the President. And may they continue to keep Kenya proud. God bless Kenya and God bless Harambee Stars. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. We wish them well. They will be on parade again tomorrow and Sunday. Chege Njuguna. Member for Kandara.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for a statement regarding the completion of Mackenzie Muroka Kamurogo Road. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure regarding completion of construction of the Mackenzie Muroka Kamurogo Road. Honorable Speaker, MS Nochmok Suppliers Limited was awarded a contract to construct the JCT A2 Mackenzie Muroka and JCT B23 Kamurogo Road. Honorable Speaker, the construction sum allocation for the property was Kenya shillings 119,363 Kenyan shillings, and the works were set to commence on 20th August 2021. Regrettably, only a stretch of 850 meters out of 13 kilometers has been completed to date. Additionally, a sum of Kenya shillings 24,981 Kenyan shillings has already been paid to the contractors, yet they have not been on the site for the last 28 months since the commencement of the project. Honorable Speaker, the completed section of the said road appears to have been poorly constructed, with potholes already forming and the construction having been abandoned. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Transport and Infrastructure on the following. One, Honorable Speaker, reasons for stalling of the Mackenzie Muroka Kamurogo Road from 2022 to date, despite the contractor having been paid part of the contract sum by the government in fulfillment of its obligation. Number two, Honorable Speaker, a detailed report accounting for the sum of Kenya shillings 24,981 Kenyan shillings paid to the contractor against the proportion of works undertaken. Number three, Honorable Speaker, the estimated timeline for the resumption and completion of the road as per the contract awarded in 2021. And number four, Honorable Speaker, interim measures, if any, put in place to alleviate the transportation challenges in the area during the period of construction for the period. And I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chege. Chair, Transport and Infrastructure. Any member of that committee? Osoro?
I don't seem to.
Can you communicate that a response be brought within 2 weeks? But
I'll get hold on the chair and the committee, Honorable Speaker.
They can
and
bring
before
first
we
week.
proceed for recess, we'll be able to have the answers.
Excellent. Honorable Meli, have you engaged your principal? You have a statement?
Yes, I have a statement.
Is Milemba in the house?
Yes, Milemba is here in the house.
And it was not just Milemba, several other members did weigh in. Yes. Go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as you directed, the CS has provided the information as follows. Honorable Mboko Milemba did ask the question on that the CS should provide details on the funds allocated by the Ministry of Education to public primary and secondary schools for co-curricular activities, specifically participation in the national ball games and the Kenya music festivals. Honorable Speaker, it's also important that I point out that this is a perennial problem that has affected schools. This is a perennial problem that has affected schools over the years, where the Ministry of Education fails to give enough funds, and it would have been good that the CS and the relevant state officers be here to answer these questions appropriately themselves. However, he has indicated as follows. The Ministry of Education allocate funds for co-curricular activities as part of the annual capitation for primary, junior and secondary school as follows. 1, Primary schools, co-curricular funding is embedded within the free primary education voted, with a portion dedicated to sports, games, and performing arts, drama and music festivals. The sum of Kenya shilling 76 per learner per year is earmarked for sports, games, and performing arts activities, music, drama, and festivals. That's 76 shillings per year. B, secondary schools under the free-day secondary education program, Kenya shillings 1,500 per learner per year is allocated for co-curricular activities. This allocation covers a wide range of school games, sports, and performing arts. These funds are intended to support school co-curricular activities at the sub-county, county, regional, and national level. The support is in the areas of transport, accommodation of participants and officials, water provision, medical services, and other championship and festival costs. 3, the funds that is Kenya shilling 76 and 1,500 are not assigned per discipline, or, for example, for ball games or music festivals. The schools themselves prepare budgets and obligations per the activity that they participate in. Honorable Speaker, it is also important to know that, except for transportation of learners, the national games and national music festivals are funded by Sports, Arts, and Social Development Fund, and thus do not depend on capitation. The second part of the question, state how much money is retained by the ministry from the capitation funds allocated for students' co-curricular activities, and explain why schools are fundraising for these co-curricular activities, yet they are to receive capitation. Honorable Speaker, the ministry retains part of the capitation earmarked for co-curricular activities as follows. Kenya shillings 40 per learner per year for primary schools and Kenya shillings 500 per learner per year for secondary schools. These funds are consolidated and sent to the regional, county, and sub-county offices to run co-curricular activities at those levels. The balance of the amount sent directly to schools. However, it is important, Honorable Speaker, to know the following challenges that impact resources. 1, cost of national representation. 2, delayed disbursement, occasionally delayed release of funds by the National Treasury, affects timely facilitation, leading schools to breach funding gaps. 3, specialized events. Some competition like music, festival, and performing arts, costumes, instruments, and require specialized resources beyond the standard or beyond learner allocation. The other question is outline the facilitation provided by the ministry to learners and teachers participating in regional and national competitions such as Kenya Music Festival. Honorable Speaker, the minister wishes to know the following, that learners and teachers participating in regional and national curricular activities do the following. 1, transportation grants, partial funding to support school learners travel to competition venues. 2, uniform and costumes. These are necessary especially when competitions move beyond schools. Extra funding becomes necessary to cater for these items. 3, accommodation and meals. Through collaboration with host institutions, the ministry subsidizes boarding and meals and meal costs. Coordination and logistics. The ministry deploys officials to coordinate scheduling, judging, and venue presentation for national events. Training and workshops. F, awards and recognition. The ministry provides trophies, certificates, and other recognition incentives to obtain outstanding performance to promote talent development. This facilitation, however, dependent on budgetary availability and prioritization with education sector funding. For co-curricular activities, I want members to know this. For co-curricular activities, this circle, for example, the sub-counties receive Kenya shillings 155,000 for the second term activities. Counties received 505,000, with regions receiving 1.2 million. This is grossly inadequate to run all disciplines, primary, ball games, SNE, junior secondary schools, SNE secondary school games, and Kenya music festivals, all of them actually is not enough. The fourth question, Honorable Speaker, is that the minister was asked to explain why sub-county education officials require head teachers or principals of schools to remit part of capitation to their offices, which are then channeled to the Ministry of Education for co-curricular activities, even though the funds are intended to directly facilitate students' participation in such activities. The minister answered as follows: the ministry field officers are not authorized to demand remittances from schools' capitation funds for any purpose whatsoever. Capitation funds are intended to be managed at the school level for learner-centered activities, including co-curricular participation. If there are any cases of schools being compelled to remit such funds, the ministry would appreciate reports to inform appropriate and take immediate action. The ministry field offices may only be involved if schools on their own volition seek support in coordinating and pooling resources to centralize logistics for cluster-based activities. Where this is done, the field officers are required to do so in a transparent, accountable manner. Signed, Julius Migos Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The questions that were asked by both myself and members have not been adequately answered. In fact, the main question that was supposed to be dealt with was why schools are on the road trying to go to Meru without funding, and that the public is raising funds through a form of Harambes, including members of parliament. And Honorable Speaker, you did indicate even yourself, you are fundraising for the same. The minister has not attempted in any way to even give an iota of how much he has sent to schools, or when is he sending the money, or how will these schools travel to Meru. And indeed, I can see, yes, thank you. And I can actually confirm that as of today, by 12 midday, schools were still trying to raise funds to go to Meru. So the question has not been answered, and the minister has not even given a way forward. Honorable Speaker, the festivals are taking from 4th to 14th, and therefore the minister should have actually given an answer, or attempted to give an answer on when he's sending the funds to schools. And that has also not been indicated by the CS. Honorable Speaker, on the issue of the monies that are deducted by the sub-county directors and county directors, the CS has said no such deductions are done. But the truth on the ground, and honorable members, you know, is that all the time when funding goes to schools, principals and head teachers are asked to take part of the money back to the ministry. So, Honorable Speaker, the CS is actually lying to the House using the chair of education. And that should be noted, because the truth is that monies are taken from schools and taken to the ministry. We had also asked him to give the account number.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I want to put the record straight that I read what the minister brought to the House. And it is through your direction. So mine was to transmit. I'm not part of the lying if the minister did lie. So I want the member to note that.
Yes, member.
So I think I'm happy that the chair says he cannot carry the cross of the CS, and therefore that's why it's important that the CS comes and deals with these questions himself. Honorable Speaker, on the question that specifically dealt with the facilitation for the teachers and the students when they are out, the CS did indicate he provides transport. I can confirm to you no money has been given for transport. I can also confirm to you, Honorable Speaker, that the teachers who are there have not been given their per diems, and therefore the situation is there. Yesterday, Honorable Speaker, you were asking how many students are in Meru. I was able to find out that over 3,000 students are actually in Meru. And finally, Honorable Speaker, I want to indicate that the Ministry of Education is a ministry that this House must stand to really correct the situation that is going on there. Unless this House stands very strong, we shall lose our education. This is a CS who is not answering this question. This is a CS who has sent money to schools that don't exist and is quiet. This is the same CS who has reduced capitation, which was given by this House, of 22,200 per student to 16,900 without any explanation. How I wish, Honorable Speaker, that the CS still be invited to deal with issues that are bedeviling the Ministry of Education. Otherwise, we shall lose the stakes we already gained of free primary and subsidized day secondary schools. Thank you.
Oundo. Merely take,
Honorable Speaker.
Take the comments.
Honorable Speaker, I sympathize with my good friend Honorable Meli, and I must sincerely thank him for disowning the statement.
Order.
Thank you, Honorable
Speaker. Order, Oundo. Meli cannot read a statement from the minister and then disown it. You cannot stretch your hand to touch a dirty stick and remain clean. You have to take responsibility and take the preliminaries being raised, the joy riders, and you will respond. Go on, Oundo.
Honorable Speaker, I want Honorable Meli to listen carefully and intently and intensively so I can remit and commit this complaint.
And those intervening, you have a minute each.
Oh, fine. Thank you. Honorable Speaker, the schools are bleeding, as I said yesterday. Whenever any money comes to the schools, the education office literally calls for the money to be taken back to their schools. This year alone, Honorable Speaker, I hope Chairman is listening, they were forced to pay for, I don't know, for training of the outgoing board members. They were forced to pay for induction of the new board members, were forced to pay for some other spurious expenses. Honorable Speaker, the committee might have to take up this matter and do a thorough investigation to ascertain how much of the money of capitation that goes to school that ends up in the hands of the education office. It's a very weighty matter that requires the Cabinet Secretary himself to come and respond to. Thank you.
Maungu, a minute each.
Thank you, Speaker, for the opportunity. Unfortunately, Speaker, the statement read by my chairman actually misled this House. I sit in the Education Committee, and I can confirm that we have serious issues with that ministry, Mr. Speaker. Until this morning, Mr. Speaker, my students of a bi-comprehensive school who are meant to go to Meru, represent the entire Western region, have not gone to Meru, Mr. Speaker, because of the confusion we have in the ministry. Can the minister tell us clearly how we are going to ensure that the kids of a bi-secondary, primary, who are supposed to be in Meru, currently still in Luanda, slept in the cold for 2 nights, Mr. Speaker, waiting to go to Meru, but they were never delivered. The challenge we have is with the ministry, and this must be put to order. Thank you.
Bowen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to say we need to have the CS to appear before us and answer our questions properly. Mr. Speaker, even the students or the people who are in the galleries here in Parliament, if they have that opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to speak, Mr. Speaker, they will tell you.
There are guests in the House. There's no way they can have an opportunity to speak here.
Yes. Well guided, Mr. Speaker. But, yes. Mr. Speaker, I want to tell you, Mr. Speaker, the monies allocated for extracurricular activities, the sports, Mr. Speaker, in our constituencies, all members of Parliament here, we've been contributing. We've been paying for their trips, even when they are going for games, when they are going for music festivals. Mr. Speaker, I think as a House, we need to have the CS answer all our questions here, and also...
Your minute is over. Dorothy, Kiara. 1 minute you have.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to say this is a weighty matter. And Honorable Speaker, based on the question that Honorable Omboko Milemba brought before the floor of this House, the CS, if there's a serious CS in this ministry, you would have altered everything else and came to this house to answer these questions. Honorable Speaker, our children and our teachers are being left to fate. Teachers are roaming Meru town, wondering what to do with the students that they have because there is no money that has been given to these teachers, Honorable Speaker. We don't want situations where our children look like orphans in the streets of Meru. Honorable Speaker, it is the high time that we call the CS to go to Meru and witness what is happening in Meru right now.
Robert Mbui.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think the CS was very sly in avoiding to come to the House
colleagues,
because he realized that were being asked. Mr. Speaker, that's why it's very irregular when the chair of the committee is the one responding on behalf of the executive. But Mr. Speaker, it is not true what the report that we have received. First, they don't support transport. They don't support in buying of uniforms. They don't support in accommodation and meals. And finally, they also, every time money is sent to the schools, they are actually compelled to send part of that money to the sub-county education office. So everything that has been read out here by the CS is not true. And I think the CS must come to the House and respond to these questions himself.
Yes, Justice Kemei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity given to me. I want to join my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, that the answers given by the Chair of Education are not sufficient. They may have been given to him by the Minister himself, and it is our view that the Minister should come to this House since the matters we are raising are so weighty. And the matters, much as they relate only to co-curricular activities, Mr. Speaker, there are still very weighty matters in the Ministry of Education that we need ample time to be able to get the minister here to answer the question so that we can also be able to ask him directly and see him in the eye if he's going to tell the nation what does not appertain outside there. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Melly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to agree with
the issue before the House.
Yes, the issue before the House is very weighty.
Hold your horses.
Yes.
The issue raised by Milemba and supported.
Yes.
Take your seat.
Yes.
You are not here yesterday. Was twofold.
Yes.
Number one, the children have gone to Meru for some activities. Have they been supported financially by the ministry? If not, why? Number two, the capitation money, when it goes to the schools, is it true that education officials in the headquarters of various counties call schools to bring a portion of that money to their offices for purposes that they describe? Members have said several things. So if no money is taken to the offices of education officers, and all these honorable members, and I have no doubt everybody here is honorable, are saying such money is paid, then it is up to you to make an inquiry as to why this money is paid, to who, and for what purpose. And if the payment is an irregularity, who do you hold accountable and the redress therefrom? Go ahead.
Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. And I want to say this. It is true that students, as has been said, are having problems. Last year, Honorable Mbui raised a question. And we took it all the way and we inquired. And we found that even teachers who were in provincial regional games in Nakuru and other parts of the country were not paid their dues. We took it up and we took it to the CS then. We even took it to the principal secretary. Honorable members of the Education Committee who are here are well aware that we had invited the CS and the principal secretary to come before the committee a few days ago, and he has failed to attend. Honorable, he failed to attend, not he failed to attend. Yes. He gave apologies. Honorable Speaker, it will be proper. Yes, as a committee, we'll take an inquiry into it, But at the same time, it is also good that the CS himself appear before the House because he's the principal administrative officer of the sector, because I can't respond to issues that are administrative to the sub-county level. So it will be proper that he comes himself. He'll be able to tell us which officers, which regions, and if there are no officers taking these particular problems, he's the one supposed to explain. However, I think this is a very weighty matter. We shall take an inquiry as an education committee and invite the CS and the PS and all the relevant officers. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Oluoji, what was your point of order?
Thank you, Speaker. I just wanted to confirm that while my daughter is not stranded there, but as a parent, I can confirm that I was asked to pay 23,000 Kenya shillings for my child to participate in the Kenya Music Festival. So this is actually a confirmation that there is something seriously wrong, and we need to audit what is actually happening between the money going for capitation and the money that is going back. I can confirm that I was asked to pay 23,000 Kenya shillings.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish to confirm that there's a primary school from my constituency, Gororukesa Primary School in Sagante Jaldesa Ward. The head teacher called me that unless he's supported, they are unlikely to attend the music festival in Meru. So we had to chip in to actually fuel the vehicle that was taking the youngsters to that venue. So for that reason, I think there's no point of trying to beat a dead horse. This is a weighty matter, and the committee must be charged to provide answers to this House. If there's not enough funding, then certain activities should not actually be taken up in vain. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Is that Lochakapong or Faisal? Who is the member at the back raising his hand? Is it? Yes. Who? Elekumondare.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yes. Mr. Speaker, this issue of extracurriculum in schools is a very big problem with the parents and the teachers and the students. Mr. Speaker, even the education officials sometimes refuse even children to participate unless the school contributes to that kitty. So it is an issue which the ministry has to address. Otherwise, if we, as members of parliament, we don't support even those children to go and participate, they will not go, and there are no money. It is the parents which contribute for them in every stage, Mr. Speaker, from the sub-county, county, and the region, including what they are doing in Meru. So it is an issue, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Ochanda.
Mike? Mr. Speaker, I've run a very quick math in terms of the monies that we've been talking about. 76 bob per child in a school of around 500 kids is 38,000. This 38,000 is supposed to run the schools from the inter-school at the zonal level, from the zone to the sub-county, then from the sub-county to the county, all through to these levels. It is impossible. It's basically impossible, Mr. Speaker. So this House, we really don't want to preside over the ministry collapsing, or the sector collapsing. We really have to get ways of how to address this, Mr. Speaker.
Posing.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there's a problem. It is the truth. There's a problem in education, and particularly this money called extracurricular activities. Honorable Speaker, the minister himself must present himself here. There's nobody who carries the responsibility of the minister. I'm sure, Honorable, my good friend, is suffering. But there's a problem, Honorable Speaker. And the minister, while watching in Mombasa, had brought up this issue with him, or as my responsibility as MP of Boko South. Speaker, there is a notorious education director in Kapenguria who is collecting this money. It is true, Honorable Speaker, there is a problem in this money. And unless this House takes a responsibility, Speaker, and leads, there's a problem. And therefore, I'm proposing the minister must stop whatever is happening in Mombasa and appear before the House next week, Tuesday, Honorable Speaker. Order that he comes next week, Tuesday. And then we deal with him, because we cannot allow him, Honorable Speaker, to enjoy himself in Mombasa while our children are suffering in Meru. It cannot work, Honorable Speaker. You have the power, in accordance with Standing Order number 1, Honorable Speaker, order that minister to appear on Tuesday, Honorable Speaker. We deal with him here properly, Honorable Speaker. I thank you.
There is no evidence that he's enjoying himself in Mombasa. Yes, Milemba?
Well, I wanted to indicate that one honorable member seems to calculate the money is going to school from a point of body mass. You must know that not all students participate in the games. And then the bigger lump sum is what is used to benefit all the students. But then what I was going to say is that the minister, Honorable Speaker, and I think the Honorable Speaker should have listened to this because it may inform his decision making. Has been sorting to get the CAs for the last several weeks. They have invited him even more than 4 times, and he's not appearing to them. He has been invited to this house by yourself, he has not come. We are dealing with a matter that is just beyond what we think it is. And the chair should be frank enough to indicate that, so that it is only you possibly who can save this country by inviting that minister to this floor. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Order. Honorable members, chair of the committee, you know your authority. You invite. If the invite is not honored, you summon. If the summon is not honored, there are consequences. So you don't need to cry on this floor that the minister is not attending to you. You have the instruments of authority in the standing orders, unless you don't know what powers you have. Osoro and Meli, you can see very clearly that you need the minister to come here and explain to the House, more particularly his assertion in the statement that no cent is paid by any school to any education office, and the continuing assertions by members that they know that money is paid to schools and paid back to education offices, a portion of it, for whatever reason. So I direct you to get the minister here on Wednesday to respond to these questions. As we go to the next, allow me to acknowledge St. Teresa's Girls School from Samburu, East Samburu, and St. Patrick Simotuo School from Pokoti South, West Pokot. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House. Now to the questions. Majority Leader, can you bring in the Minister for Interior?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the Minister for Interior is not in today. Yeah, I have just received a letter, Honorable Speaker, from, signed by Dr. Raymond Omolo, who is the Principal Secretary. And if you allow me, Honorable Speaker, to just quote that, he says that he acknowledges receipt of the letter inviting him, to, the Cabinet Secretary, to appear before this House on 6th August 2025 at 2:30 p.m. Then it says that regrettably, the date and the time set for the session coincides with a previously arranged high-level full-day security meeting with the Cabinet Secretary will be attending alongside senior security officials. So the PS writes to respectively request a deferment of the scheduled appearance to respond to the parliamentary questions, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the letter is signed and written by the PS. It's becoming a new norm, Honorable Speaker, also, that this House, the letter is dated yesterday, 5th of August. Honorable Speaker, this House summons the minister because The minister is supposed to appear before this entire plenary, Honorable Speaker, but the response is from the PS. And I think now I leave it to you, Honorable Speaker, from your position to give further guidelines, because if the minister is invited, then it should be actually the minister responding to this House the reasons as to why he shouldn't be appearing, Honorable Speaker, and not the principal secretary. In any case, Honorable Speaker, the CS has an obligation to this House, and the PS has an obligation to the specific committees, Honorable Speaker. This is not a committee. This is a plenary. It's a full House. I therefore wish to submit, Honorable Speaker, that we do not have the minister present today, going by this letter, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Osoro, as sitting in the majority leader's seat, that letter you have read to the House came to the Speaker's chamber yesterday, and the Speaker declined to excuse the minister from coming to the House today. Remember last week, Wednesday, the same minister was supposed to be here. He didn't show up. His PS wrote to Parliament. The invitations go to the minister, you are right, not to the PS. The PS is a stranger to the matter. I direct you to ensure that on Wednesday at 2:30, the Minister for Interior is here to respond to questions raised by members, failing which summons will issue.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Yes. Next order. Mama Zamzam, what is it? All the clerk.
Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nasikitika sana. Toka mwezi jana kuna shughuli ambayo nimekuwa nayo, ama nimekuwa na issue ambayo ni nzito sana, ambayo hata pengine mtu maisha yake yako hatarini, na ilikuwa namuuliza waziri. Lakini kama yeye atakuwa hawezi kuchukulia kwa makini hili jumba, itakuwa natudharaulisha sisi sote. We are representative of the people. Na kama tunakuja hapa na maswali kumuuliza, na yeye anatuma PS wake ambaye pia ukimpigia simu hashiki, ukimwandikia message hajibu, sisi tunawauliza tumeweka kwenye hizo ofisi kufanya kitu gani? Maisha ya kijana yuko hatarini, ameenda kuchukua ID, anaambiwa ID yake ilitoka kitambo na imefanya robbery mahali, mtoto anaozea kule ndani ya sel huko Nyamira. Yeye kama ni mtoto wake angesikia vipi? Mimi nasikia uchungu, Mheshimiwa Spika. Lazima waziri aje hapa anielezee mimi mama Mombasa hatma ya yule mtoto, sio mambo ya upuzi kutuma hapa mabarua na PS wao. Hii serikali lazima isonge mbele, wasiweze kumregesha rais nyuma. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Yes, Osoro.
Speaker, I want to take note of the two directions that you've given. You earlier gave the direction of inviting the Minister for Education next week at 2:30 on Wednesday.
Minister for Education is on a very narrow single issue.
Okay.
The children in Meru and the money going to schools and going to officers.
Okay.
It's the only issue. There are no other questions.
So both of them should appear on Wednesday, 2:30.
2:30.
Much obliged.
Yes. Yes, Mbui, on the same issue?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, just to confirm something, because I have a question that
Yes.
was also to be responded to.
Yes.
And Mr. Speaker, I've seen there's almost 10 questions to the same CS. There's still about 10 questions to the same CS from members from across the political divide, which are very, very serious. And Mr. Speaker, several times you've even said that one of the ministries that has a lot of questions that are asked in this House is actually that particular ministry. So, Mr. Speaker, I want the CS to know that even though there is separation of powers, there is interdependence and there is independence. But we must work together to ensure that people get services that they deserve. For him to ignore to come to the House 2 times in a row, Mr. Speaker, I think that's unacceptable. And he must know that this House has the power to even get him out of that office, because it is this House that gave him that office. So, Mr. Speaker, let him be warned not to continue ignoring the power of the House.
Yes, Chonga.
Thank you, Speaker. I had a serious issue regarding the CS education that I wanted to point out to you. Apart from what we're talking about, the kids in Meru, we have kids who are in Kakamega, who are on rugby and some other games. One of the schools from Kilifi South, St. Paul Harris Girls, is in Kakamega. They're challenging they are defending their championship for rugby in Kenya. After that, they'll be required to go to South Africa. Already, Speaker, I am the one who's footing the bill for them in Kakamega. What is going to happen if these girls qualify to go to South Africa, yet the ministry, as they are in Kenya, is doing nothing about that? The question that should be asked about to the CS is not about the games that are going on. It's not about the games that are going on in Meru, but also what is going on in Kakamega, more especially for the international games the kids are going to face. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Kerry, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Chonga is raising an issue that's very emotive, and I can see even from his presentation. I was seeking guidance from you, Honorable Speaker. Being a man who understands language, our reference to our children as kids, while we know very well that the kid is the little one of a goat, and we have taken it up as colloquial and made it to be now an established reference to our children, I wanted you to find Honorable Chonga out of order for me is using this word that is not appropriate for children who are in school. He can refer to them as pupils or as learners or as students, but kids, this is the little one, the offspring of a goat or a sheep. Our children are not kids. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
I'm sure the reason you are challenging him is because you understood what he said. Yes, Mother.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think you have put it at rest. I think our children have not really complained. But, Mr. Speaker, mine is on the CS in charge of security. Mr. Speaker, 2 times is too many to not appear. And it has been a while. You queue questions, then it takes so long. Mr. Speaker, security issues are emerging issues. Like now, Mr. Speaker, I'll tell you I'm already queuing to ask a question on the pimping of girls in my Mahiu. Children being pimped out as sex slaves, Mr. Speaker.
It was on BBC last evening.
And Mr. Speaker, some of these issues may not wait as long because those women are on camera, they should be arrested and in good time, Mr. Speaker. So maybe just to ride as we queue the questions, that can also be part of the issues that he responds to. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Have the pimps been arrested?
No, not yet. And that's what we need to get from the CS, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, there was an elaborate program about it on BBC. Osoro, yes, Honorable Karole Omondi.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
I want us to go to the next.
Yes, I think we need to interrogate this matter a little further by focusing on the leadership of the House. I think that's where the problem is, or it is in our standing orders. I've seen it takes so long for questions addressed to ministers to be answered in this House. And yet parliamentary practice in other jurisdictions, you ask a question, in 2-3 days, the minister has appeared and answered it. I watched proceedings in the House of Commons in Australia, in Canada. But here, we tend to imagine summoning a minister here requires some ceremony, where we have to wait for 3 weeks, 2 months. We are not serving parliament, and I think it is the failure of the leadership. If it is the majority side that schedules ministerial appearances, let us look at the standing orders. We cannot ask questions, queue for 2 months until the gist of the question has evaporated. The subject matter is no longer relevant. Then the fellow appears here to answer questions. I think there's a fundamental problem
You
on
have
this
made
issue.
the point.
Thank you.
Osoro, you've heard what I've directed. There are many, many questions from your colleagues to Interior, to Education, to Health, and to Roads. Those are the ministries that take the bulk of questions. And when His Excellency the President wrote to the House through the Speaker, requiring us to change our standing orders to allow ministers to come here, it was on the clear understanding that chairmen and chairpersons of committees have limitations in responding to supplementary questions. and that ministers, as those in charge of policy in their ministries, must come here and speak for and on behalf of the government and the people of Kenya. So inform the ministers who have failed us today. The Honorable Gamba at least send a note and an inadequate message through the chairman. The Minister for Interior, this is the second time in a row where they're just flying around letters instead of coming to Parliament. And you yourself have rightly said, you cannot invite the minister and there's a PS response to tell you that the minister is not coming. That is an assault on the dignity of this House. Ensure that next Wednesday, the two ministers are here by 2:30. Yes, Carrier.
This is the direction that we have been seeking. Mr. Speaker, is to ask if the direction you're giving could be extended also to appearances before committees, because the same thing that you're seeing in plenary is what is happening in committees. Committees, especially departmental committees, are inviting ministers and PSs, and they are not running short of excuses as to why they should not appear before these committees that have been given powers by the Constitution, our laws, and the standing orders to be doing these periodic reviews of the departments and ministries and agencies that we are superintending over. So, Mr. Speaker, my request is whatever direction you have given should be extended also to the appearance before committees. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
It will be so. Honorable members, allow me to acknowledge in the public gallery, I hope the students are still there, Prince Model School from Kilgoris, Narok, Laboso Vision Academy from Kipkelion, Kericho, World of Life School from Sambweni, Kwale, Kabel Comprehensive School from Baringo, South Baringo, and Chukuni School from Kitui West, Kitui. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, we welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Next order.
Order number 8, the Plant Protection Bill, National Assembly Bill number 28 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to provide a regulatory and institutional framework for the prevention of introduction, establishment, and spread of plant pests, management of plant pests, facilitate safe trade in plants, plant products, and other regulated articles, and for connected purposes. Order number 9, the Capital Markets Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 30 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to amend the Capital Markets Act. Order number 10, the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bill number 7 of 2025, first reading. A bill for an act of Parliament to authorize the issue of a sum of money out of the Equalization Fund and its application towards the service of the year ending 30th June 2026 to appropriate that sum for certain public basic services and for connected purposes. Order number 11, the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025, second reading.
Honorable members, is the chair budget here, Atandi? Honorable members, order. Order. The member talking to Tonkei, order. Honorable Meli, take your seat. Honorable members, due to time requirement and the need for counties to get these resources and operate, we must go to order number 11, finish, and move to committee of the whole on the same, so that we finish up with Kara today. Honorable Soro, you know the House Business Committee directed so. Honorable Millie, Honorable Mbui, you are aware of this. We must deal with Kara today at orders number 11 and 12. So, Atandi, you move the bill, and when we finish, we'll be at hand to go into committee of the whole. This is a Senate bill. It's straightforward on the horizontal division of revenue between counties. Have you called out Order 11? Yes, Atandi?
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for even making that clarification. I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Budget and Appropriations Committee on its consideration of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025, laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6 August 2025.
You are not right, Atandi. You are now moving the bill.
Oh, thank you.
So I beg to move that the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025, be now read a second time.
Thank you.
Then you move on to make your presentation.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that the County Allocation of Revenue Bill 2025, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025, be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, as you have rightfully said, this is a very simple bill which basically is sharing horizontally the county shareable allocation then, to the 47 counties. Honorable Speaker, the bill is very important because it is, supports the devolved system of governance, and it is prepared in accordance with Article 218, 1 sub B of the Constitution. It outlines the equitable share of nationally raised revenue among 47 counties. Honorable Speaker, beyond the revenue allocation, the bill establishes the legal framework for fund transfers from the national government to county revenue funds. It also ensures predictability and legality in disbursements while also setting recurrent ceilings for both the county executive and the county assemblies. Honorable Speaker, the basis for sharing revenue among counties is guided by Article 217 of the Constitution, which provides that Parliament must determine revenue sharing formula every 5 years. Honorable Speaker, on 24th June 2025, Parliament approved the fourth basis for revenue sharing, which will guide successful revenue distribution among 47 counties from this financial year 2025-2026 to 2029-30 financial year. Honorable Speaker, following the successful mediation of the Division Revenue Bill 2025, the County Allocation Revenue Bill 2025 was published in June 2025. Honorable Speaker, the bill proposes an equitable share of 415 billion for the financial year 2025-2026 among the 47 counties. Honorable Speaker, this represents an increase of about 27.6 billion from the Kenya shillings 287.4 billion shared in financial year 2024-2025. Honorable Speaker, the horizontal allocation is based on the fourth basis, which includes the following parameters. 1, baseline allocation. Honorable Speaker, baseline allocation is the amount of... Okay, sorry. Honorable Speaker, the parameters for the fourth basis formula for revenue sharing is based on the following parameters. The first one is base allocation. Base allocation is basically the allocation that was provided for in the financial year 2024-2025, which is 387.425 billion. The second parameter, Honorable Speaker, is affirmative allocation to 12 counties. This is 4.46 billion. And Honorable Speaker, just to explain that there are 12 counties that were identified by this formula. The counties are either too small in terms of population, too small in terms of geographical size. They are also, in terms of population, there are very few people in those counties. And also in terms of poverty index, those counties are not poor. So there was a formula which was decided that those 12 counties, which include Elgeyo Marakwet, Embu, Isiolo, Kirinyaga, Laikipia, Lamu, Nyamira, Nyandarua, Samburu, Taita Taveta, Tharaka Nithi, and Vihiga. That we needed to, using affirmative action, allocate 4.46 billion, which they are sharing equally, to help them be able to even reserve money for development purposes. Honorable Speaker, the third formula is equitable share. Honorable Speaker, equitable share is 23.115 billion, which this money is distributed according to also the following parameters, which is one, population, which takes 45% of this allocation, poverty index 12%, geographical size 8%, and basic share 35%. Honorable Speaker, basically, this is really what we are doing here today. And using that formula, if you have the report of the committee, there is a schedule of how this money has been shared among the 47 counties. The 47 counties, the first schedule, you can see that Baringo, for example, is going to receive a total of 7,083,683,384. And if you go through up to the last county, that is West Pokot, is going to receive about 2,426,080. Also, Honorable Speaker, this bill is also setting ceilings for recurrent expenditure for both county assemblies and the county executives. And Honorable Speaker, to note is that the bill has proposed a reduction for recurrent expenditures for county executives from an allocation of 333,776 billion in the year 2024-2025 to 23.41 billion in this financial year. Honorable Speaker, county governments have been spending so much money in recurrent expenditures at the expense of development. And this is the decision of the Senate and the Commission on Revenue Allocation that this money be cut. Honorable Speaker, on the other hand, County Allocation Revenue Bill 2025 has proposed an increase in the county assemblies' ceilings. I think there's need for county assemblies to be more active in overseeing county governments, and they've been given additional resources to be able to help them do that. In effect, Honorable Speaker, there's an increase of about 3.57 billion to county assemblies to allow them to be able to effectively discharge their mandate of overseeing county executives. Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I would like to move and ask the majority whip to second.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this House passed the Division of Revenue Bill, which of course was in concurrence with what the Senate had proposed. The same was assented to, Honorable Speaker, and today we are simply affirming what we passed here previously in the name of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill. The Chairman of Budget has clearly put it as it should be on the formula that has been used in terms of sharing, of course, on the baseline factor, on the affirmative allocation, and also the additional equitable share. We continue urging, even as we say, Honorable Speaker, the county governments to make good use of these amounts and to be accountable. I mean, because we really send huge amounts of money, Honorable Speaker, to the county governments all over, but you hardly see what it does. You know, when you hear, for example, the Honorable Chair has mentioned as singled out one county called Baringo. And he said that 25-26 for this year, the ceiling, the county assembly ceiling will be about 847 million for this year, Honorable Speaker. And in the executive, it will be about 496 million, Honorable Speaker. So if you put that amount of money, Honorable Speaker, you'll realize that this amount is huge and it's too much. You know, we are talking about billions of money going to the counties, Honorable Speaker. We still struggle, and because we've all traversed the country, and we really struggle to see what these county governments do, even with this allocation, Honorable Speaker. We continue urging them that even as we continue sending these monies to the county, Honorable Speaker, that they make good use of it. Our hospitals are still, struggling in terms of medicines, Honorable Speaker. The rural roads are really not passable, especially when the rains happen. But what we see, Honorable Speaker, is a lot of branding and, moving around with groups of people everywhere and having a group that is paid to cheer in funerals, in churches, in functions, all over. And we continue challenging them that please, when you continue challenging the existence of CDF through courts and everything, when CDF can visibly can be seen on what it does. I mean, you really can see classrooms built. You will see students going to school. You will see everything that is being done by CDF. You will see NGAF, a very little amount of money, Honorable Speaker. You will see our gracious ladies, doing a lot with NGAF. You'll actually think it's in billions. When you compare with what these governors get or what these county governments get. So, Honorable Speaker, we continue challenging them on that. And finally, Honorable Speaker, we want to challenge the county assemblies to do their work in terms of oversight. I mean, the problem is, Honorable Speaker, is that the county assemblies, because of lack of autonomy, they tend to be an extended arm of governors. That for them, it's worse that they've got to kneel before a governor. If they don't, a road will not be done before a road will not be done in their wards. Sometimes they are even denied salaries if they don't kneel before governors or even worship them. And that is why you see them moving around and, following governors so that they can at least get something, not only for the welfare of their people, but also 5,000 for their pocket. So, Honorable Speaker, I think I beg to close it at that and say that I second, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable members, I now propose the question that the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025, be read a second time. Okay, Honorable Mbui.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker, sorry. I rise to support the county allocation of revenue bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025. Madam Speaker, as has been said, that after this House passed the division of revenue bill, which determines the amount that will be given out to the counties, then naturally the next phase is to deal with this county allocation of revenue bill, which basically now shares money amongst the counties. And this is a Senate bill that comes to us every year. Now, Madam Speaker, in this particular bill, I have noted, and that's why I decided to make this contribution, that there is a proposal for a budget ceiling for recurrent expenditure. Madam Speaker, that basically means that the monies that are going to the counties, the Senate has made a determination that they must put a ceiling of the amount that they will be able to use for the executive offices and also for the executive at the assembly level. Madam Speaker, this basically means that the amount of money that is available for the executive to spend on tea and mandazi and coffee and travel is limited. Madam Speaker, I looked at this, and at the beginning I had thought that it is a full recurrent expenditure that is being controlled, only to realize it is only a part of it. I propose that going into the future, we may need to limit the amount of money that actually goes to recurrent expenditure, including salaries, including every expenditure basically that is recurrent, so that we can have more money for development. Madam Speaker, there's a lot of counties that spend most of their money on recurrent and very little is left for development. So I think it's important that Senate tries to see how they can limit the amount of money that goes into the total recurrent budget of the county assemblies. And then also going into the future, I think it's important that once we have established how much money remains for development, that we find a way, and Senate can borrow from NGCDF Act, to find a way of controlling the funds that are going for development, so that by the time they're being released, we know how much is going to, which project and how it is going to be carried out. Because, Madam Speaker, a lot of times, you look at the monies that are going to the counties, and you compare with the monies that are given to the constituencies, which is a small amount of money, and yet you can see visible projects that are impacting on the lives of people at the constituency level. Yet the counties with billions, you hardly see anything that is positive. So, Madam Speaker, I think we must find a way of making the money that goes to the counties visible for the sake of Kenyan people. Otherwise, I support Madam Speaker.
Honorable Zanzam and then Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuunga mkono pesa ambazo zimeongezewa katika county government za kufanya maendeleo. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi kitu ambacho nataka kusema na niwaambie county governments, acheni vita vya kupiga wabunge, kuzuia CDF, kuzuia NGAF, wakati ambapo bunge hili ndio linawapa nyinyi pesa za kuweza kurun county. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka kusema na ujasiri. Najua siku nyingi nikizungumza huwa natumiwa watu wakanitupia mawe, lakini mimi ni mwakilishi wa wananchi wa Mombasa na lazima nizungumze. Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa mfano tu jana nimeangalia hawa wa CHPs hapa tulipitisha wanapewa 2,500, county government pia wanawapa 2,500. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, katika county government ya Mombasa kuna ambao wanalia toka hizi pesa zimeanza kutolewa hawajawahi kupata, na they are active members, wanazunguka wakitibu wagonjwa, wakibeba wagonjwa, yani yale maradhi hata wanaweza wakaambukizwa wakati wote. Mheshimiwa Spika, lakini zile pesa hawapati. Na ndio mimi nataka kuelezea county governments, hizi pesa tunawapa kwa sababu tunaheshimu ugatuzi. Tunataka ugatuzi ufanye kazi kama vile Baba Raila Amolo Odinga amesema, na amewatetea sana ili muweze kuongezewa mpate nafasi ya kufanya kazi. Lakini msimwaibishe baba, kwa sababu sisi hatuoni kazi kubwa ambayo mnafanya ndani ya county governments. MCS huku wanalia hakuna kitu, kama alivyosema ndugu yangu Osoro, watu wanawafuata wanataka hii, lakini sisi tunataka tuone value ya hii pesa ambayo sisi tunawapa. Tunataka kuona huduma bora katika hospitali zetu. Tunataka kuona huduma bora katika ECD schools zetu. Mheshimiwa Spika, haiwezekani pesa ambazo sisi tunawapa ni nyingi sana, lakini ukitembea ground kila mtu analia, hatuoni ile uzito wa ile pesa ambayo inakwenda katika county government. Na nilizungumza juu ya hospitali hapa Mheshimiwa Spika, hospitali zote za Kenya za public, Mheshimiwa Spika, huduma iko mbaya. Na ndio juzi na jana dada yetu Chege aliweza kuleta ile motion yake ama bill ya universal healthcare, ili watu wote wapate huduma bora ya afya ndani ya hospitali. Lakini sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, ikiwa hata hii ambao tunawapa unapata hospitali, hali ziko ndio hivyo, hakuna dawa, hakuna mashini, mtu anatumwa katika hospitali ya private aende akapime ugonjwa. Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati ambapo pesa nyingi sana zinakwenda kule county government ziweze kufanya kazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nitarudia kusema wasiregeshe ruwaza ya rais chini. Mheshimiwa Spika, manake watu wote watakao kisema Kenya iko mbaya, maisha mabaya, hospitali hakuna dawa, sijui tumetumwa hii, wanamlaumu rais, wakati ambapo bunge hili limepitisha pesa na zimekwenda kule county government. Sisi tunataka tuone hizo pesa zikifanya kazi, wala hatusemi kwa ubaya kwa kuwachukia. Tunasema kwa sababu na sisi ni wabunge, tumetumwa katika bunge hili na hawa wananchi ambao wanahitaji huduma. Mheshimiwa Spika, wawache vita ya kupiga women reps, wawache vita ya kupigana na wabunge, waangalie kazi zao na wabunge waangalie kazi zao. La sivyo na sisi pia bunge hili ndio linatoa na bunge hili ndio litachukua. Wakianza vita na sisi hapa Mheshimiwa Spika, pia tuna uwezo wa sisi pia kuwapokonya kama mbaya Mheshimiwa Spika, kwani iko nini? Watu heshimu na sisi tuheshimu. Hiyo ndio vile Kenya itakwenda mbele. Tunataka hawa watoto wakisoma wawe katika mazingira mazuri. Mheshimiwa Spika, mtoto akienda hospitali apate matibabu. Mama mjamzito akienda hospitali isiwe mama anajifungua amelipa SHA tena anaambiwa mtoto analipishwa na wewe unalipishwa portion hii, hujui hiyo pesa inaenda wapi. Mheshimiwa Spika, wakati rais amesema SHA lazima ifanye kazi na wao wanamregesha nyuma. Mheshimiwa Spika, waache utapeli katika makaunti, waache wizi katika kaunti zetu, wachape kazi ili Kenya iweze kuendelea mbele. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Okay, last one, Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I wish to support the bill, but I will not, in quote, lima, the way Zamzam has limaed. I would want to say that when the father of devolution promoted devolution, the idea was for a devolution of resources and services. Unfortunately, what we are increasingly seeing is devolution of power, devolution of nepotism, devolution of corruption. And what I'd want to encourage a lot of our counties, I'm not saying it affects all counties, but I'd want to encourage our counties that this is a very rare opportunity, especially for counties that have been marginalized for years. It is a time to transform our own counties. Nobody will transform our counties for us. We have just come from a requiem mass for Honorable Phoebe Asio. And what we have seen is a legacy of a life well lived. When you will die, nobody will bury you with the storied buildings that you have bought, with the cars that you have bought. It is what you have done to transform people's lives. So I want to encourage our governors that do work that will transform lives, that years after you are gone, people can say, the way people say about Tomboya airlifts, that actually resulted in the first black African-American president. Now, that is something we can talk about today. But nobody cares about what you can build. If you build a mansion, next year somebody will build another one which is better with a better design. Let us live like birds. Madam Speaker, my father was a politician, an elected politician, and people called him a bird. And I used to wonder why. He was called Odhiambo Winyo. And I wondered why. And over time, I've understood why. Because my father never amassed wealth, even though he had the opportunity to do so. Because his concern was building a legacy. Unfortunately, he died too young, so he didn't build his legacy. But I am working on building his own legacy, plus my own legacy. And also, one other thing I want to actually encourage our governors is that what I can guarantee you, that even if CDF were to be stopped, the money that goes to CDF is a national government portion. It can never go to the counties. And I want to also inform the governors, and I'm glad that we're having a conference next week. God willing, I'll get an opportunity to speak there. And I want to say that for me, I can say some of the things, legacies I can say, that the 15% that is going to the counties, I am the one who moved for that 15%. So that 15% is going down courtesy of me when I sat in the Constitution, the Select Committee on the Constitution. Our party had wanted 40%, but we didn't manage 40%, and it was going to be left open, and I moved an amendment to bring no less than 15%. But that 15%, if you compare with what MPs are getting, or not MPs, but CDF, what we are oversighting under CDF, 0.4%, really. There is so much that can be done with the resources that go to the county. There is so much, it is actually something that can transform a whole small shopping center to a city. But our focus and our priorities are just lopsided. And I want, therefore, to encourage our governors, stop focusing on the wrong thing, which is fighting NGCDF, that is helping a lot of poor Kenyans. My constituency is a rural constituency. And Madam Speaker, I can attest to the fact that for the longest, all I knew is that rural constituencies, the structures were matope, mud walled, or the improved ones were mabati structures. But now go to almost virtually every constituency. Even where it is not yet completed or done, you will see people singling out one or two that is not yet done. But they will single one or two. But out of that, maybe 100 of them will be permanent structures. that have been constructed by NGCDF. Finally, Madam Speaker, I want to say that NGCDF is something good that has come out of Africa. It is a development model that must be emulated in every single part of Africa. Every time Africa does something good, we try to put a reverse gear so that Africa can always wallow in poverty, always going to the West with bowls to beg. Where we have reached as a continent, we have no excuse complaining about colonization. By the time I was born, colonialism had ended. Why are we crying many, many years later? Even if we are poor and even if we are colonized, can't we change our story? Can we be crying all our lives? And NGCDF as a model is enabling us to change that story. So we have no reason to attack NGCDF. I'm not telling him off. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I know Honorable Kaluma, my neighbor in Homa Bay, wants me to tell off our advocate. But it is his right to take the matter to court. And it is also our right and duty to let him know that in constituencies like mine that have been marginalized for years, that have never seen structures for years, have been transformed because of the structures that have been built. Go to Aondo TTI in my constituency. Within a year, it was a small center where my brother TJ Kajwang's home is. It's a rural area. Suddenly, it has become a commercial center within 1 year because of a TTI. We are hopefully opening a KMTC, 100% funded by NGCDF in this little town. And it is going to be a game changer. So those who really, I know it's a bit of a misunderstanding about NGCDF, but I hope we can talk to each other, persuade each other, and move together. I do support.
Thank you. Last, Honorable Wangare, member for Gilgil.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. And I'll just start from where my minority whip has stopped and say that I actually don't think it's a misunderstanding. I think it's a deliberate effort to actually curtail the few projects that are actually visible on the ground and in the grassroots that are sponsored through NGCDF and also through GAF, Madam Speaker, because GAF is very small money if you look at it. It is less than 6 million per constituency, but you'll go to my constituency and find a tent, you'll find the social things that are helping women done through GAF. Madam Speaker, the issue of this bill, which I also support, but we support and also remember to send this message very clearly, that there are few roles the county government should actually focus on. Number one being health. Because even as we do SHA and SHIF registration, as we discuss universal health coverage, without the synergy from the county governments, then it becomes an exercise in futility. The reason I say that, Madam Speaker, is because all the primary level, all the primary care is under the county governments. That is why it has always been my view that the county government should actually endeavor to ensure that every place there is a dispensary, there is a health center, we are able to deal with the issues of diarrhea, issues of ARVs, issues of immunization of children, Madam Speaker, so that we are able to take referral cases to the referral hospitals and the bigger hospitals, Madam Speaker. Every day, I don't think there's a member of this House who does not get complaints about the health centers in my constituency. I know I hear people in Gilgil Hospital suffering, Madam Speaker. People in other small hospitals also suffering, Madam Speaker. If the governors could be able to deal with this, then would have gone along with. The other part, Madam Speaker, is the issue of rural roads. I know we have had a lot of push and pull on this, but recently this money has been disbursed from the Kenya Roads Board to the counties. And I know Nakuru had the highest amount of money on roads, 183 billion, but Madam Speaker, the roads that are called county roads are impassable, and in fact, you don't even need to ask which road belongs to Kera. You can tell by just looking at those roads, Madam Speaker. And it is terrible that even in towns where they should be maintained, it becomes a problem. Madam Speaker, the other issue, Governors must also be able to stick to their primary mandates, Madam Speaker. The issue of bursaries, I know we are trying to plug into it and offer bursaries, Madam Speaker, but in education, the two things that are properly allocated under Schedule 4, it is the ECDs and the polytechnics. But Madam Speaker, by now, all ECDs should be free. Have you tried to enroll a child in an ECD, Madam Speaker? It is not cheap, it is not free, even in the primary, even in the government institutions, Madam Speaker. So before the governors can be able to deal with these other bursaries in secondary schools and duplicate what CDF is doing and others, can we deal with ECDs first? Ensure that they are free, and also ensure there is free porridge or free food, Madam Speaker, because that is the foundation of our children. Madam Speaker, if you look at the amount of CDF that is going to 290 constituencies, it is just about 50 or so billion. If you compare the same with 400 or so billion, it surely is a drop in the ocean. I wish we can have more accountability, but as Honorable Mbowe said, there is reluctance of getting a law like the NGCDF law, because I feel like the people who should do it want to be governors, and they enjoy the mess. They enjoy the mess because when there is no that law to show how much goes to CD, how much goes to bursary, how much goes to the health, then they benefit in terms of corruption. So it is actually a deliberate effort not to have that law, Madam Speaker. So I hope that we can be able to deal with that. And the other issue, Madam Speaker, we must deal with. The Senate is obsessed by calling the CSs to answer questions, yet they know they have no constitutional role at all, even to bring a censure motion, Madam Speaker. I wish the Senate can be able to do their role and ensure the oversight of these monies so that we have value for money, and the monies that go to the counties, Madam Speaker, are put into good use. The other issue we will have to deal with, Madam Speaker, as I wind up, is the issue of governors running again to be senators immediately after election and subverging the same accountability and oversight that we speak about. The same thing we are dealing with now by senators wanting to be governors. That is where the problem is, Madam Speaker. So those are political problems to have political solutions. But for now, I support and I hope that we can be able to see more than we are seeing from the county government. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Bondo, do you want to speak to this?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to do this very fast. Number one, Madam Speaker, is the whole issue of the parameters that we are using in terms of allocating these revenues. We've not done one critical thing, or the Senate has not done one very critical thing in terms of costing of these functions. We've not done it since the beginning. We have not done it now. And I think it's one critical thing that needs to be done. Say that when we are placing money, we place resources where functions are. You don't want to place resources to a county which has also not costed properly their functions. If, for example, in health, if you look at health, average, you look at a constituency, realize that a constituency has around 15 health facilities. And if you check through in terms of what happens in these 15 health facilities, compared even to the number of schools that are in that constituency in relation to what we do, is peanuts, Madam Speaker. So I think this is something that is very critical that needs to be looked at, costing of these functions. And that goes also to what we have, even in this bill. The clause 6, or the clause 6 that they are placed, they're talking about taking functions back to the national government from the counties that are supposed to be based on some county, some kind of costing. I don't know whether the Senate is able to give us, after a period of time, how many counties have transferred some of their functions back to the national government, and how many were able also to transfer back the money that were initially given to them when the functions were not yet transferred. So, Madam Speaker, this I think is very critical that we need to look at it, and the Senate needs to come out very clearly in terms of the issues of costing of these functions. The Constitution reposits the functions clearly, but their costing is a totally different matter that needs to be practical, and that's exactly we need to be placing money where functions are able to be done based on properly costed arrangements. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Carolio Mondi.
Thank you very much.
Please press the intervention button
Oh,
if you
sorry.
want to contribute
I
to
thought
this.
I did.
No, you may proceed, but for the others,
Okay.
Press the intervention
Thank you.
button.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I rise to build on what Honorable Mbui had said. I think this should be the last time we are having a revenue sharing bill that does not contain a clear demarcation of to the limits that county governments can spend on recurrent expenditure. I think it is becoming irresponsible of this House and Senate as well to just be sending money and the public is not seeing any use of the resources that run into trillions that have so far been disbursed to the counties. I think as a House, we now need to develop a new model, and I'll be proposing amendments to the PFM Act so that all the funds, be they equalization funds or shareable revenue that we disburse to the counties, have limits in terms of what can be spent on recurrent expenditure, which we will propose will be a maximum of 30%. That would also include emergency funding, with the 70% being disbursed on the basis of advanced budgets. In other words, with codes, with projects, with constituencies, with wards, and with locations and sub-locations, so that we can save devolution from the greed and the incompetence that we see in our county governments. If we don't do that, there'll be no devolution in 10 years. Honorable Speaker, it is also time that we call out the Senate. There's so much money being spent on illegalities by counties. Why are counties financing bursaries, yet education is not devolved, except for ECD? And do you give ECD children bursaries? It's not clear to me why any county government should be spending money on bursaries. I've also come to learn, to my horror, that county governments are spending a lot of money on funerals. On funerals. And I don't know what line of expenditure in the estimates this is that empowers or gives the governors powers to spend money on private funerals. I'm also aware that counties are spending a lot of money maintaining cheering squads under the guise of public participation. Surely, we cannot be supporting this kind of mismanagement of public resources year in, year out. So I would like to encourage this House that next year we should have amended the Public Finance Management Act and saved devolution. Also, Honorable Speaker, we have this issue of NGCDF. There are some well-known lawyers, but they're basically busybodies who everything they touch normally fails. I hear people are reluctant to mention some of them. But somebody has gone to court challenging the proposed NGCDF bill. The only comfort I can give this House is that this fellow, his name is called Paul Mwangi, he happens to have been my yearmate at the university, everything he touches fails. That is the comfort I can give this House. He was in BBI, it failed. He was in a lot of ODM petitions, they all failed. So I can assure you, even this one will fail, because I know him. Yeah, I know him very well. I even have a matter with him in court. He has refused to show up because it is going to fail. So let us not spend too much time worrying about Paul Mwangi. He will go far, very far indeed, but in the wrong direction, like he always does. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable Dido Raso. And honorable members, I think we can have the debates as we go into the committee, even in the committee, so that we can shorten the time for comments and also reduce contributions, so that we continue into the committee also. We'll still have the opportunity to make our contributions. Honorable Dido Raso.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to support this bill. And on the onset, I want to say that devolution, as Honorable Emilio Odhiambo explained very ably, is about devolving resources and services to the people. And today, in this country, the only devolved resources that Kenyans are able to put their finger on is NGCDF and NGAF. That is meager resources that are in the purview of the members who sit in this house. But the billions that go to our counties, actually there is no story to tell about them. Today, when ministers or even president visits our counties or constituencies, the only projects that can be commissioned are those projects that belong to the national government or those projects that are done by national government CDF. Honorable Speaker, looking through this list, I come from the county of Marsabit, and I'm really saddened to know that with all these resources, the workers in Marsabit County sometimes go 2, 3 months, 4 months without receiving their salary. And the question I beg is, are these counties not receiving their full remit of their allocation? There are things like hospitals or medical. Most of the people of Marsabit, today you'll find them in Meru, in Embu, or even in Kenyatta. Then you ask yourself, what is happening to those money allocated that are meant for medical support for our people when they are supposed to have a level 6 hospital in the county of Marsabit? Honorable Speaker, what we need to ask, even at the national level, the idea of wastage and corruption through the COB or through Auditor General, people must be put on notice so that cases of corruption in counties should not be entertained. People should have their day in court. Honorable Speaker, I'm happy to note the issue of poverty index as part of the criteria for allocation. What we must get on a yearly basis, and this I want to direct to the chairman of budget, is we must get a report. What is the improvement in the county of Homa Bay, in the county of Marsabit, in the county of Lamu? On a yearly basis, people cannot be permanently poor when they are being given resources. Are those resources helping the people to improve their lives? Honorable Speaker, finally, it is this issue of grants. There are monies that come from World Bank, African Development Bank, and several development partners that go to our counties. What we are slowly discovering, the main resources allocated from the center by the national government appears not to be visible, but governors are hanging onto these other resources that are given by development partners. So the question we must be asking is, who is oversighting these funds that actually directly leave the treasury and go to our counties to support agriculture, to support education, and all the different sectors without full purview of this House? Honorable Speaker, finally, around this country, I occasionally go to Kenyatta National Hospital, and I ask myself, why is this hospital so congested that you cannot have the chance to use the lift because there are so many people, And even if you are using the staircases, actually sometimes you fear. Then the answer is a lot of referrals that are coming from our counties is because most of the county medical infrastructure has collapsed. And Kenyatta Hospital has all of a sudden become the first hospital of choice. And we must depart from that. Are we giving Kenyatta National Hospital enough money to actually accommodate all Kenyans when they are in need of medical assistance? Finally, it is this case of recurrent expenditure. What I learned in economics, if you want to build, and it has to apply to our counties, we did not devolve employment. We did not devolve expenditure or money used in a thrift way just for entertainment. So what the national budget system from this house and even from the treasury must push is to make sure that the 30-70 principle must begin to apply. Because unless we are going into that direction, then counties will just be a place for employment, a place for entertainment of the governors and his system of cartels. And for me, in fact, when I look at this breakdown, going forward, we must ask ourselves the real question. When we have a president who moves around the world, asking for all kinds of support, and those resources that are devolved is not reaching the people, then we must ask the hard questions that are we working in vain? With those remarks, I want to say that I support this, and thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Didoraso. The Honorable Dr. Makali Mulu. And honorable members, it would be good, because we are dealing with Kara, that you also read to the public what each county is getting and what they got last year. So that the people know how much money we are sending to our counties and can also help in their oversight. Dr. Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I will not take long. Just want to say that I support this Kara bill, Honorable Speaker. And as a way of starting what you've said, my own county, Kitui, will be getting 11.5 billion this financial year. So, Honorable Speaker, those are quite some substantial resources. And I agree with the colleagues who are saying, if used well, they improve the lives of our people. But, Honorable Speaker, on this bill, two issues. The first issue is it's important that we try to agree on how much is used on recurrent. And I think that attempt has been done in this bill. It indicates how much should go to the county assemblies and how much should go to the executive, the county executive. It's on the basis of that, Honorable Speaker, you realize that the county assemblies have a higher figure in terms of recurrent when you compare with the executive. And basically because most of the work they do is like what we do here. Most of our expenditure in the National Assembly is recurrent in nature. So it is expected they also do the same. The second point, Honorable Speaker, is I agree with colleagues who are saying the Senate has much more to do. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the time we did costing of the functions, county functions, that was 2013, around 2013, 2011, through the then transitional authority, which was there then, Honorable Speaker. Since then, no updated costing of function has been done. And some functions have not been costed at all, Honorable Speaker. So it means even as we budget for the counties, as we give them this money, it is still not clear how much is required for a county to offer the services we expect of them. I do agree with the colleagues that there is a bit of misdirection. But even in addition to that, I think if we want to help the counties through devolution, Honorable Speaker, it is important we get updated costing of the county functions. In that case, we'll be helping the counties. The second point, as I sit down, Honorable Speaker, is the formula, the fourth generation formula, the one we are using now, Honorable Speaker, has once more pushed population to 45% again, Honorable Speaker. And what this thing doing is that the allocating factor, Honorable Speaker, gives a lot of weight to population. Honorable Speaker, what this has done to us as a country, it has taken us back to the seasonal paper number 1 of 1965. So there's going to be serious marginalization of some of the counties. I wish it was possible, Honorable Speaker, that we are able to have some affirmative fund to take care of those counties which are marginalized, just the same way we have equalization fund. With those remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, listening to the top economists in this country speaking, the Honorable Makali Mulu, and supporting this debate, Honorable Speaker, I rise on standing order number 95, seeking that we quickly allocate the counties the money they deserve, especially Kakamega, which is going to get about 13.6 billion. Let it get it fast enough so that we move into the next cycle, Honorable Speaker. So I call on the mover to reply on that basis, Honorable Speaker.
You have no power to call the mover to reply, Honorable Wangwe. As per procedure, I want to put the question that the mover be called to reply. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Yes. Mover.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I reply, let me take this opportunity to thank members for engaging in this debate vigorously, and also to say that I have listened to your submissions, especially those who are asking the value for money for the people of Kenya by county governments. I want to agree with them that indeed there's so much that counties can do which they are not doing. Honorable Speaker, with those so many remarks, I beg to reply. Who's the question?
Yeah, honorable members, I'm putting the question on the second reading of the matter appearing under order number 11. I therefore put the question, County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2025, be now read a second time. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the equitable allocation of revenue raised nationally among the county governments for the 2025-2026 financial year, the responsibilities of national and county governments pursuant to such allocation, and for connected purposes.
Next order.
Order number 12, Committee of the Whole House.
Order, members. Honorable members, on your feet, take your seats. We are now in the Committee of the Whole House. for the consideration of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2025.
Clause 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
No amendments. I will therefore propose the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clauses 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
First schedule.
I propose the question that the first schedule be part of the bill. I put the question that the first schedule be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Second schedule.
Still no amendment. I propose the question that the second schedule be part of the bill. I now put the question that the second schedule be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
I propose the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 2 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I propose the question that the title be the title of the bill. I now put the question that the title be the title of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 1.
I propose the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. I now put the question that clause 1 be part of the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. We have come to the end. Let's get the mover to move reporting.
I beg to move that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2025, and its approval thereof without amendments.
Very well. I therefore put the question that the committee do report to the House its consideration of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2025, and its approval thereof without amendments. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
The chairperson to report to the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2025, and approved the same without amendments.
The mover move agreement with the report.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bill number 5 of 2025. I also request Honorable Mushira to second the motion.
Honorable Mushira.
Mr. Speaker, I second.
Honorable members, I propose the question that this House do agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration